Hello everyone and welcome to my sewing school. Today I'm going to show you how to make this type of bag. It's called a boxy bag and it was designed by Debbie Cole, who lives in the Cayman Islands and has a fantastic blog out there. This is the pattern you get when you order it, which is full of fantastic instructions and very easy to work with. But if you're a beginner, then it's never quite that easy, and if you are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I would just want to show you the first boxy bag I've made, so out of the way with the beautiful ones. Let's have a look at this one. Well, that didn't work so well, did it? I did try my best, but I wasn't quite aware of how I wanted it to be, so I thought, well, it's a bit small, the original boxy bag. Debbie does that here very well. She shows you what fits next to it, and what fits next to it is actually just like a bit of makeup, so it's a very small bag. So if you wanted to make the bag bigger, you could make it bigger, I thought, just by extending it. And if you just extend it and make it overall bigger, then this is what you get. And the shape isn't actually very nice. So you do have to learn a few things about pattern making before you can adapt a pattern to make it then look like these. A pattern is really only as good as the person that makes it. So you do need to know a few things before you start. And one of them is, which fabric should I use to get a pristine line like this? These are not filled with anything. I haven't puffed them out. They're totally empty. So I have tried a few things. This bag here I just filled with wadding. And what do we do with that? Oh, away! Didn't work at all. But in the end I've come up with something that will help you as well. If you're using some curtain lining which has been fused with some insulation already, that's quite stiff and it works really well, and also it's quite cheap, so you're not paying over the odds for it. This is about £3.50 a metre, so, and you need very little for it. This is the bottom of a boxy bag, so that's fine. The other thing you need to bear in mind is what types of fabric you're going to use for a bag like that, and upholstery or curtain fabrics are very, very good ones. Just don't buy polyester, buy the cotton ones or the linen ones. So this is a fairly heavy duty cotton I have used for my bags. That works really well. So step number one, get a good pattern. Debbie calls us great. Get good fabric, get good lining. Make sure that the inside looks as good as the outside, so that when you are putting in a super cute lining, like I've done here, and you open up your bag, your mates will go, oh, that's so nice, I want to make one of those. See? Another thing that's very important when you're making a bag is that you use proper top stitching thread. It's much, much thicker than normal thread and looks a lot better. It gives it more defined look to your bag. I'm going to show you how to make a piped and lined applique, and you can even put a ribbon across it. That's very nice. You can also use the applique here. I've used them for my VW busters. I think that's really nice as well. Now once you've printed off your pattern, I'm going to just push one of these out of the way now, so you've got a bit more space to have a look. Once you've printed off your pattern, and you can see that I've used this tons and tons of times, yeah, you have to remember one thing. If you want to make a bag bigger and you just extend it, you ending up with that shape which you've just seen before, which we don't want. You only extend the lines that actually make the bag. So let's have a quick look how the bag actually looks. You've got the sides here which will come up like this. This is the bottom of the bag, which you can see here. So let's have a look. So this part here is the bottom there. So you can see I've made that a bit bigger because I wanted to fit some sewing stuff into it. And then when you come to the top, the same thing applies really. You fold these down. You can see how the top will be created. Okay, that's this top. Now, when I put this on here, you can see that I made this quite a little bit longer, but it's only longer in that one area. When you look at the bag from here, it looks as if it's the same height here as it is there, but in fact I've made this slimmer to the top, and that is not so easy to do. If you don't know what you're doing, To make sure that this comes in a bit, you can leave this exactly like it is the top, yeah, don't alter the top. And then when you're sewing this together, like so, you start there and you go in, which will then create extra height, okay? And it'll be like more like that, right? Can you see? If you want the bag to be exactly like Debbie Cole's bag, just a little bit bigger, then this is the bag for you. It's got the same dimensions all the way up. The other thing I would change here are the straps. I think that they are a bit wide for this bag. I would make them a tiny bit less in width, so maybe go not for 8 inches wide, but just 7 inches wide. You can line your straps, which I think is super cool, because then the lining from the inside is the same as on the outside on the straps. Or you can leave them as they are. And last not least, I think quite importantly, the lesson I have learned is that maybe my straps are still a little bit too short. If you like them like that, fair enough. This one is 23 inches long, and this I ran out of fabric because it was I'd run out of fabric, and then I got more and made a second bag. So in the first bag I just made my straps 20 inches long, and it's clearly not long enough. So the 22 inches from Debbie Cole's bag are still good enough for a really nice boxy bag, but they're not really enough if you want it to be quite tall. So then you have to go to 24 or even 25 inches. And if you're making the bag big enough, then of course you can put my scissor pouch into it. Hang on a minute. Here it is. It's very well used for the moment. I absolutely love it. My students love that one. It goes into my bag, and this bag is going to be used to death because it's actually really handy. And it fits in, of course, a smaller bag it wouldn't have fitted in. So I love it. I hope you do too. So let's get on with the instructions, and good luck with yours. So are you ready to sew a boxy bag?